First they ask, с чего начиналось ваше знакомство с буддизмом? Расскажите коротко о себе. Ведь вы родились и учились в Индии. Что побудило вас отправиться в Россию для передачи учения Будды?
Why do you want to know me? What's the purpose? This side was.
They just take interviews from different people, from Christian fathers, from Muslims.
So, I am, Tibetan refugee. My father and mother, they fled from Tibet, as 1959. So we stay in India since 1959. And in 1962 I was born in a refugee camp in India. From the very childhood, my parents are Buddhists, and I have a strong influence of the Buddhist philosophy and teaching. And at the beginning, I'm not very, very strong spiritual person. Then, after 16 years old, when I studied philosophy in Buddhism Institute in Sarnath, Varanasi, then I became more interested in Buddhism, because it's not just like a religion. It's a mental science, how to have a healthy way of thinking, how to have a healthy way of living, So Buddhism explains people how to make our mind healthy, how to subdue our mind, which is the man cause, which is taking a very important role, man cause in our life to bring happiness and remove suffering. Buddhism says that, cause of our suffering, all our problems, if you investigate deeper, it comes from unsubdued mind, unhealthy state of mind. If we make the mind healthy and subdued, then our problem will solve by itself, and we can make surrounding us also happy. So I investigate this theory and study more and live with this philosophy, and it's really working. More your mind subdued, more your mind become healthier, you become happy, and people surrounding you become more happy. So this way, then I became more interested with this philosophy, interested in developing the mind. Then I spent 3 years up in the mountain Dharamsala, meditate intensively to develop the mind under the guidance of His own Dalai Lama. Then in 1993, His own Dalai Lama asked me to go to Russia as a spiritual representative, because in Russia, like a Republic of Buryatia, Tuva, Kalmykia, they are Buddhist by origin, but during the communist regime time, all this, Buddhist Republic, they, tradition, culture, been almost disappeared. So they requested us to help to revive their rich culture and tradition. Then this way, someone sent me here. So since 1993 till now, 2011, I've been staying in Russia, traveling, not only this Buddhist Republic, all over the Russia. There is a Buddhist center, because in Russian people they find very useful for their mind to become more healthier and their mind become more subdued. So this way, in order to mental development, they find Buddhist philosophy, Buddhist teaching very useful. So I keep traveling in many Russian cities. There is a Buddhist center in many Russian cities. So almost like a 20 center all over the Russia and Mongolia. So that's why I travel this place and keep teaching.
Не могли бы вы рассказать, в чем основная суть учения Ламрим, которое вы передаете? Что вы понимаете под буддийской этикой? В чем ее особенность?
Lamrim is a greater part of enlightenment. Enlightenment means perfect state of mind. So that's when Lamrim explains how to develop mind, how to achieve the perfect state of mind, which is completely free of delusion, realize all potential. So that's why when Buddhism talks about enlightenment, it's not something outside. It's talking about the mind, perfect state of mind. So that's why it's just step by step. It shows not just one theory, all the technique, strategy, how to develop the mind and achieve the perfect state of mind. So, teaching of Lamrim is like a condensed teaching, whole teaching of Buddha. So when Buddha gave teaching, he gave 84,000 volumes of teaching, and this is too extensive. And it's difficult to understand all of them. So that's where Lama Tsongkhapa, one of the great masters of Tibet, who've been directly prophesied by Buddha himself, he condensed the teaching of full Buddha into very short form, so that ordinary people can understand easily and implement in their daily life. So such teaching is called Lamrim, Greater Path to Enlightenment. So, usually in Russia, wherever I go, I give some part of, when I give teaching, based on Lamrim teaching, I give teaching. And people find very useful for subduing the mind, making the mind healthier.
Что вы понимаете под буддийской этикой и в чем ее особенность?
No, Buddhist ethic is a ethic and morality. It's main thing is talking about not just order behavior or your speech behavior. Real Buddhist man ethic is a state of mind. If you don't control the mind, if you don't make the mind harmless, then it's useless to have so many ethic. So that's where even Shantideva says the real ethic, ethic or morality, if mind don't subdue, if you don't control the mind, then it's useless to have so many ethic and morality. So that's where in Buddhism, when we talk about ethic, the first man ethic is not harming others. Make yourself harmless person. That's the one very important ethic. Your body, speech, and mind, wherever you go, don't bring any problem, suffering to others. That's the first important ethic. Second Buddhist important ethic is that, your body, speech, and mind, not just, became harmless. Opposite, it became useful to many other sentient beings. So that's where, if your life became harmless, on the top of it, when it became useful to place wherever you go, where you stay, you make other people happy, don't harm them, then you are living very high level Buddhist ethic and philosophy, ethic and morality. So this is the man Buddhist ethic and morality.
Расскажите, пожалуйста, что представляют собой медитационные ретриты, которые вы проводите?
So, in order to achieve the mind, perfect state of mind complete free of delusion. So, at the moment, our state of mind, we can't concentrate one moment in one object. And this mind can't subdue the mind perfectly. Such a mind which after 1 minute wandering here and there can't make the mind healthy because it's a very weak mind. So in order to achieve such a healthy state of mind, very important first develop one point concentration. In Buddhism we talk about the shamatha. Shamatha means training the mind so the mind can have a very high level of concentration. So that's where high level concentration is one of the main instrument which you can help to subdue the mind, make the mind healthier. So that's where, in Shamat, in Baikal, we are going to have a retreat center. In this retreat center, we are, there will be a special house for the intensive meditation, so that me and my disciple, they can meditate and develop the high level of concentration, we can able to concentrate one object for a long period of time. So when you develop such a high level of concentration, then mind becomes very sharp. When mind becomes very sharp, you can see each point very clearly. Then after the shamatha, 1 point concentration, we can develop high level of mental called like clairvoyance. Clairvoyance and a very sharp penetrative state of mind. This will help us to not only subdue the mind, help us to. It will also be useful to help other people also when you have clairvoyance. So that's where, for that purpose, in the Baikal we are going to have we have already bought a large territory, 1 hectare from Meditation Center. We are going to build one, Shamatha dome house, so that's where people can meditate and develop very high level concentration.
Насколько важна роль учителя в традиции буддизма?
So, tradition, not only in Buddhism, Buddhists and non-Buddhists, everywhere, the spiritual master takes a very important role because he is the leader, he is leading people in the direction. If the master who lead his disciple in wrong direction, it's very dangerous. If master who lead the disciple in the right direction, it's very, very useful for the disciple who find the right spiritual master. So that's where, first very important, investigate master is authentic or not authentic. Either he is leading in the right direction or not right direction. Once you know that he is leading you in the right direction, then very important have a faith in him. Faith in him, listen and do exactly how he recommend you, advise you to. Otherwise, it will be not very effective to develop the mind. For example, if you take the medicine from one doctor, but if you don't trust completely, If you have a doubt on him, then one day you take medicine, next day you don't take medicine. In this way, treatment won't be effective. In the same way, mental development also. Sometimes listen, sometimes don't listen. Then you will have a disadvantage. You can't have a very effective mental development. So that's where spiritual master taking a very important role.
Как можно применять буддийскую практику в повседневной жизни?
So, main purpose of Buddhist philosophy is to change our behavior in daily life. So that's why in Buddhism saying that informal practice is more important than formal practice. For example, if you don't do one formal practice, forget to do it one, it don't harm other people. It don't harm other neighbor like that. If you do one day formal practice, it won't too much help other also. Informal practice, which is say not harming other, helping other. This one, if you don't do one day, if you don't do proper practice, if you don't control your body, spirit, mind, if you harm, your family will problem, other people will problem. If you practice this one moral ethic, don't harm other, become harmless, everybody have a quietness. On the top of it, other level practice, which is helping others, making others happy. So if you do this practice, that day you will be happy, the neighbor will be happy. So this way, informal practice, the main purpose of Buddhist practice, so that in daily life, our behavior became harmless, we became a source of happiness to others. When such thing achieved, then you are doing, fundamental Buddhist practice. Then on the top of it, then realizing all the good quality of mind and removing one small negative emotion, slightest negative emotion, remove it, and removing all the mistake, which is the cause of our suffering. So once in our life, we don't make any mistake. Anything what we do it effectively, and then your happiness will come by itself. So Buddhism is saying that the worst enemy in our life is not outside, our own mistake. So more you understand your subtle mistake, that much you will progress. So that's why Buddhism is saying that discovering your own mistake, fault, is the step toward the mental development, for the your progress. So that's why very important know in daily life what mistake you're doing. We made so much mistake in terms of talk and communication, in terms of thinking, in terms of doing something. We do sometimes to be active when not necessary. Sometimes we are very not active. Don't do it when it's necessary to be active. So that's why so many mistakes be done in our lives. So this all this strategy, thinking, way of thinking, we made so many mistakes way of thinking. So all these mistakes should be reduced. Then mind will be more and more happy. Okay.
Спасибо, Гешела. Да, Гешела, очень хорошо. Спасибо.